This chapter is called Trust Me, Let Go. Hello, my name is JW. I'm contacting you because I feel I have some sort of spirit that's been following me. I believe it's a relative though. I've had several, so to speak, encounters. To start, with my father committed suicide when I was 5 years old in 1990 in Austin, Texas. Before that, my grandmother, his mother, died in 1984, a year and a half before I was born, of cancer. And before that, her father died of congestive heart failure right after that. Then in 1955, my great-grandmother, my grandmother's mother, committed suicide the day my aunt, my dad's sister, the day she was born. My first experience was in Austin at the governor's mansion. I remember we went there on a class field trip like most Texan students do. Anyhow, as we began to enter the mansion, I was at the back of the line. And on this field trip, my grandmother came with us as we were standing at the door getting told stories. I looked to my right, and all of a sudden, a rocking chair that was sitting by the door started rocking as though someone was sitting in it. There was no wind, nothing. It was just a regular hot Texas sunny day. I was the only one that saw it. My next experience was about 6 years later that I can remember. I was 11 years old in the 6th grade. This time, my middle school went to Washington, D.C. area for an end-of-the-year field trip. I believe we were in Jamestown, could have been Williamsburg, on a tour. We were with a school from Oklahoma, and I had befriended a girl from that school. We became BFFs on that trip. Anyways, it was a misty, cool night, that field trip. My friend and I were at the back of the group and gotten a little behind. We both looked to our left, and we could see a lantern moving around one of the old houses, as though someone was carrying it and walking around to the back of the house. But there was no one. We looked at each other, freaked out, and ran towards the rest of the group. Then about another 6 or 7 years later, when I was 18, my friend and I decided to go to Austin to a club, and I was driving down a road that took you a back way. It was only a 2-lane road. As we approached a cover, we both looked over our right, but didn't say anything at first. After we both looked back at each other and said, "Did you see what I just saw?" and freaked out to no end because we said it at the same time, and we both said, "Yes." It was a little boy that appeared to be 9 to 11 years old of age, had brown hair and white as could be. He was wearing a black t-shirt. He was crouched down in almost the kneeling position and just stared directly at us. Then we looked back and he was gone, just as quickly as he appeared. I stepped on the gas pedal, got the hell out of there as quickly as we could. We've never been down that road since. It's still a vivid memory in my mind. And in 2004, I believe it was 2003, right after I got my license, I got into a car accident around 4 p.m., right after school let out, and the highway was pretty busy. I'm sitting there waiting on this car to come along, and then I pulled out, and the car had sped up. I got hit in the driver's side and did a 360 in the middle of the highway. I had a CD holder in my visor, and it went flying off. All of a sudden, I had this feeling that someone told me to let go of the wheel, and that they had it. My wheel is literally spinning as though someone was driving it. I survived the accident, and I was told that I was lucky, that it must have been someone watching over me. I really feel like I did. I swear to this day it was my grandmother or my father that took over. I survived 2 other pretty bad car accidents as well, one of which could have been killed again as well. Pertaining to my father's death, he is buried in Friendswood at the Friendswood Cemetery. I saw y'all's did an investigation there. I was wondering if you can go back and go to my father and grandmother's grave and see if there are spirits there. Also, I would love an investigation myself and your opinion on my experiences. I currently reside in Alaska, but will be moving to Virginia April 1st. I should be in the Austin area on Easter weekend. I will be there for about a week to visit family. I really need some closure on my dad's death and to hear from my grandmother, who I never really knew. It's bothered me for years. I'm now bipolar. I was diagnosed with ADHD because of my dad's death. Please feel free to contact me if you think you could help or be willing to. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I'll be taking I-10 on the way to Virginia after I leave my parents, and will make a stop at my dad's grave. I have also another story to tell you. Sincerely, JW.